Hi, I'm Dr. Joe Nemeth. I'm a periodontist in Southfield, Michigan, and I want to talk a little bit today about apparently this rage with charcoal toothpaste or charcoal powder in your toothpaste to whiten your teeth. Number one, it's not regular charcoal. It's activated charcoal, which means it's been processed differently so that it has more actual activity than regular charcoal. It's used in water filters, it may have some other cosmetic applications, and now people are beginning to use it to whiten their teeth and brighten their smile. The charcoal comes in different forms as far as using it as a toothpaste. You can actually get it as a toothpaste. You can get it as a powder that you add or mix in with your regular toothpaste. You can also get it in capsules that you open up and put in with your toothpaste, or you can just get it and not even use regular toothpaste. You just dip it in the charcoal powder and use it that way. And here's a really neat one. They have charcoal toothbrushes. So you may not even need toothpaste or a charcoal powder. Just use one of the charcoal toothbrushes. But does it whiten your teeth? Well, probably it does whiten the teeth, but if it whitens the teeth, and if it whitens the teeth very significantly, that means it could be abrasive, and it could possibly be very abrasive. We don't really know because no long-term studies have been used. If it's abrasive and you use it regularly, that means it's likely to thin out the enamel, cause the tooth to become thinner. If it becomes thinner, it can fracture, it can chip. As it thins, becomes translucent, so it may affect the appearance of the tooth. We don't really know. It can cause notching or sort of ditching or cutting in the roots of the teeth if it's very abrasive. I've seen that in other situations with abrasive toothpaste. Since I'm a periodontist, people have asked me, well, how does it affect the gum tissue? From what I've heard, it may cause some irritation of the gum. Again, if it's abrasive, it may cause irritation of the tissue, may cause reddening of the gum tissue. And by the way, if the gum tissue does get a little redder, it may make the teeth look a little whiter, because in contrast to the normal pink tissue, if it's redder, the teeth may just look whiter. But let's talk a little bit about the whitening of the teeth, because everybody thinks, hey, you want white teeth, I'll use this product to make my teeth white. So maybe it does whiten the teeth. That could be. But if you have crowns or veneers or fillings in the teeth that are made to match the shade of the tooth, when you whiten the tooth, you're not going to whiten the fillings or the crowns or veneers. They're going to stay the same color. So if everything looks like it's an even nice color now, then you start whitening the teeth and it successfully whitens them, but it doesn't whiten the fillings, the crowns, or veneers or in the teeth. You may look worse because you may have teeth, some teeth that are whiter and some teeth that are not whiter, parts of the tooth that are whiter and parts of the tooth that are not whiter. You have to be really extra careful and thoughtful before you do something to whiten the teeth. So these are sort of important things to know. And again, we don't really have long-term studies to know what activated charcoal will do in your mouth. It may be great, may be beneficial, and it may really not be. I mean, there could be long-term effects that we just don't know about. I mean, the FDA spends lots of time clearing drugs and certain kinds of toothpastes. This has certainly not been cleared or approved by the FDA in any way that I know of. If one is going to use a charcoal powder or charcoal toothpaste, I think probably using it occasionally might be okay. To use it on a daily basis would scare me. I'd really be concerned about it because we don't know the long-term effects. If it does affect the gum tissue, it could cause that gum tissue to recede or to thin out, particularly if it's abrasive. So, by the way, I just want to talk about toothpaste in general. This is really, really interesting. Almost all toothpastes are somewhat abrasive, some more than others. There was a study done fairly recently indicating that if you don't use toothpaste, you're not going to get the notching and the erosion at the gum line that frequently occurs with vigorous, frequent brushing, because the abrasiveness in the toothpaste actually will work as sort of like a long-term sandpaper and actually cut into the tooth. So if you don't use any toothpaste at all, you will avoid that notching or erosion. Just a good brushing thoroughly will remove plaques, stimulate the tissue, and you don't have to worry about abrasiveness and consequences from that. Just be careful with it. I know people are talking about it. How well it works, we don't really know. I don't really know, because long-term studies haven't been done. And especially if you have other restorations in your teeth now, you've got to watch out, because there could be a color disparity once you start whitening them. So be careful with the new charcoal Rage. At any rate, make sure your mouth is healthy. That's the most important thing. You have a healthy mouth, you're going to have a healthier body. I guarantee it. Have a great day. Take care.
Restore your smile and your health with the help of Dr. Nemeth and his associates. Visit drnemeth.com to schedule your appointment today.